Hello, folks. I want to make this quick video to discuss the Kansas decision of what happened with abortion rights. Now, I had a feeling this was going to happen because one or two things were going to happen. There will be ripple effects to what happened, or people are starting to realize the consequences of what's going to happen if Roe versus Wade is turned back, including the women living in these particularly red states who want to ban abortion outright. They know for a fact what's going to happen. And some of these women are gritting their teeth. They're not saying anything. And I think Bo made a great point in his video about this situation, how this is going to affect everyone. And remember, it's too early to call, but let's just call it before, you get our whole things in a basket here. I had a feeling this was going to happen. This was going to turn either one way or the other, especially in this type of situation. There's no way they could have done this without primarily, essentially, royally fucking this up. And I think this is why many Republicans, even like Mitch McConnell, was like, "Did we have to do this fucking thing now? Did we have to, overturn it now before the midterms?" It was a mistake, and I think some Republicans are reeling that mistake. And if Democrats do gain something or manage to keep the seats in the Senate and the House stable, it's going to be because out of blind luck. At the end of the day, it's not because they did anything. Because Joe Biden is just incompetent. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's not an effective leader. These folks, because they're living. I mean, these Democrats are living in the 1990s. Their brain is stuck in the 1990s. They can't get out of that era. Especially these old types like Joe Biden and Nancy. They're stuck in an era that is gone and is fleeting, and they don't realize that it's gone. And the consulting class of the Democratic Party that runs the party don't really understand that the party's over and that they need new leadership to advance the party. But I'm not going to get in a rant about that. But I know that it's a stroke of luck if this thing goes the way the Democrats want it to go in the midterm. But Kansas is a good point of this because it's a completely red state, and their candidate lost by a lot of digits, and the ruling of the Kansas abortion law was defeated. So, what caused this to happen? A lot of things. It is possible it was defeated for a number of reasons, but another reason is that election kind of proved the point in realizing, of course, this was going to backfire on these people. These people got the car, they're the dog that caught the car, but they don't know what the fuck they're going to do after it. Because now there comes the legal implications of you actually trying to pass this batshit shit. Regular Americans agree abortion should be a right to have. That's almost a majority of this country. It's only a small minority that believe that these things should be federally banned. When you have that much of a ratio difference, of course those people are going to be like, this is batshit. And they're realizing from that aspect, even in states like that, the women, they're not going to say it out loud, but those women in those states are realizing, yeah, this is going to be a fucking problem. They're not going to say it to anybody, as Bo said in his previous video, where they'll say he had a story he told about a friend who was going to go to another state to do an abortion. She called it something else. And she kind of stressed the truth. And Bo figured out in the story that he was telling that that's what actually was going to happen. That's what she was actually doing. She just didn't want to say it. And that's what's going to fucking happen. And the states that want to pass it through, I'm telling you, the legal implications and the disaster that this is going to create is going to be, it's going to be nuts that what's going to happen. Because that's the funny thing about theocrats, is that I don't want to give theocracy credit, but, at least the Iranians actually know what the fuck they're doing. Even though there are issues it's a complete disaster over there in some instances. But with the Ayatollah and the Supreme thing, there is issues, of course. But the worst example is the Saudis. But But here it seems like they don't know the implications because we already have a constitution that says what it says, right? So the issue at hand is a lot of this is becoming a little bit batshit. And I think regular Americans are realizing this and saying, whoa, 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 what the fuck is going on here? They're really, I mean, when it hits the regular population and they notice that this is happening, and this didn't help them the wiser with that case of the 10-year-old that was going to give birth. I mean, and you had one Republican, you got someone saying, oh, it's okay for the 10-year-old to give birth. You see the value of life. And then regular Americans hear that and they're going to be like, that's fucking nuts. That is batshit. Regular Americans would see that and say, that is nuts. That is nuts. Right? And I think there is this implication within these states that, yeah, this is going to be a problem. The women aren't going to say it out loud, but in those states, proof of what's happening in Kansas, I think you might get a lot of that in the midterms. I think that's what's going to start happening because it's going to start ratcheting up, and I think end of the day it's going to be a battle regardless. But this is the one sliver of good news in terms of the midterms that maybe the Republicans were like, holy shit, we were going to do the recession, and now this is becoming a problem. What we did with Roe versus Wade, fuck, this is going to be a big problem now. Because if we keep pushing these batshit insane laws that some states want to pass, regular Americans are going to look at this and be like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Hold on a minute. What? What? And the thing is, these Republicans aren't going to provide family care. They're not going to do that. And this is what bothers me. And Marco Rubio's dumbass plan with the freaking voucher, it doesn't do nothing. It does nothing. And they know it. It does nothing. So I don't know why these people, it's starting to beg the question, yes, is it about control? Yes, it's about control. But these dudes are doing a really poor fucking job in trying to implement what they want to do. Because it's just coming off as just bat nuts. It makes no sense. And then, we can talk about the ultimate contradiction in capitalism, because if these guys are such capitalists and they believe in this idea of growth, they're going to look at their GDP numbers and if they want to restrict women, they're going to look at that and be like, oh shit, why did our GDP numbers go down? You don't want to know why it went down, idiots? So this, this is the contradiction of everything. And at that point, as I said previously before, these people aren't thinking about what these people are trying to pass. They have the balls in their court, and these anti-abortion groups are happy, but they don't know what the fuck they've done. They really don't know what they've done and the implications of what it is. And now you got people talking about banning contraceptives. And at that point, that's when you go into the batshit. Because now you look at it and you're just like, hold on a minute. You had a woman who was blocked from taking birth control at Walgreens, talking to her saying, you shouldn't take birth control. And she was wearing a cross on her. And she said, had a story on TikTok. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a minute. Hold on a fucking second. Because, listen, either we have a lot of dumb fucking people who don't understand sex education, who don't understand how birth control works. Because in this country, in the United States of America, our sex education is abysmal. That shit is down the drain. So either these people don't know nothing about it, and of course they read their Bibles and they say, well, we don't want to talk about sex. Okay, then what the fuck did Solomon do with his 500 concubines? Think for a second. What did Samson do with that one chick that cut his hair? Who do you think he was with that, what the fuck are you reading these stories for? So this is my issue. And it's really starting to just unnerve me at a sense, because it's really starting to make me think that these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They know what they're doing. At the same time, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's almost like a tit for tat. They know what they're doing. Either they don't care, or they're this moronic. I mean, I don't know, man. So, you know, the results that happened in Kansas isn't a surprise for me, and I have a feeling that this is what's gonna happen. There's some women in these states are gonna vote. They're gonna be like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say I voted, but you know damn well on the ballot I voted for abortion rights. I'm not gonna tell you who I voted for, but I chose my reproductive care over this bullshit. I ain't gonna tell you, of course. These women aren't gonna say that, but the ballot box is gonna say what it's gonna say, right? And you already got some Republicans in the party that are like, maybe we need to rethink this. Not a lot, but a good sum of Republicans are looking back and they're like, maybe we need to rethink the anti-abortion laws. That I think we're really pushing it here, especially with a lot of the cases with the freedom of religion, like the Supreme Court trying to go after freedom of religion stuff now. Alito basically opening his mouth. This guy, he can't control himself. Alito opening his mouth talking about, Christians are under attack. I mean, it's giving the game away. And I'm pretty sure there are some. I'm pretty sure Mitch McConnell is just shaking his head like, "Oh my God, you guys just can't shut the hell up before we can actually do this. Like you guys are really pushing it here. Like you're really pushing it here. Like you guys are just saying it in the blue. Like you're not thinking." I know it's cynical for me, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I bet you Mitch McConnell's thinking in his head, like, what the fuck? What are we doing? I'm trying to keep the Senate here, and then and we did this Roe versus Wade thing so damn early. Like, what the hell? And it may go the other way. We don't know. But this is going to become a problem because if the Republicans win the midterms, I mean, there's going to be even more manifestation. I mean, I want people to understand something. What's going to happen if they ban abortion nationally? This is what's going to happen. And I want you to understand this fact clearly. California, New York, and these other states, they're going to codify Roe, and they're going to say it is in our state law, you can have an abortion. Who gives a fuck what the federal government says? Now it's going to be states' rights versus Republican national ban on abortion. So what's going to happen is we're going to have an issue of union dissolval just on a technicality because of this shit, because of these rulings. So what's going to happen is they're going to be like, states like New York, these blue states are going to be like, we're going to have abortion, bro. We're going to have contraceptives. Listen, if you want to ban this shit naturally, go ahead. But California, New York, you guys aren't doing shit here. And that's what's exactly going to fucking happen. Those states are going to say, we are going to have abortion legally. We don't give a fuck what this thing says nationally. And they're going to go to court for it. So unless Republicans magically just say, well, in this instance, I guess we're not for states' rights. I mean, they're going to look like fucking idiots. They're going to go in and be like, because now the argument's going to be in their court and be like, hey, dude, you said states' rights. So can't we do states' rights with abortion rights? Look, you said states' rights for this, but we can't do states' rights for abortion rights? Fuck. I mean, this is I'm telling you guys, if the national ban happens, the political implication is going to be bad. We're going to see basically union dissolval very quickly. You're going to see definitely a dividing line between states. You're going to see union dissolval very quick on this technicality. I'm not saying the union will dissolve. It's going to be a civil war. I'm saying constitutionally, there's going to be a union dissolval. Blue states, these other states are basically going to be like, we're going to have abortion. And these red states, it's going to be, you want to talk about a divided country by law? They try to pass this thing nationally. Those blue states are going to say, fuck you. I mean, go to court. You guys want to remove federal funding for us because we basically, that's the only thing they can do is that Republicans are going to threaten those blue states with federal funding saying, we're not going to give you federal funding if you don't agree to our abortion ban. Oh, God. And you know what? Those states are gonna go to court. It's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be a really bad shit show. Shit show. And I mean, at that point, I think the Republicans are definitely going to lose a lot of. I mean, these institutions are already on shaky ground as it is. So, and the Supreme Court is also diminishing in its institutional relevance in of itself. I already had issues. I don't want to go into the Supreme Court now. To send the video for that. It's an institution that I've always said is illegitimate, in my opinion. And the life terms of the Supreme Court has always been ridiculous to me. Because not even in British common law they have life terms for their justices. They don't even have that. And we follow British common law. The whole thing that the United States has with these life terms it's absurd. It's absurd. And where we got it from English common law, they had terms. It wasn't life terms. So we don't know. Like the U.S. system is just bizarre in that aspect, and there are reasons for that. There are reasons to why you have a life term for a justice. It's almost a way to maintain political status quo if you have people still in life terms for generations of previous generations, so things can slow down, so you don't have rapid change to the systems. This is almost on purpose. So again, Kansas is good news, and I already told people the implications of what's going to happen if they try to ban this nationally. And I think Democrats or the propaganda on this, it has to be good propaganda to let these voters know, Bo's gonna take your fucking abortion. They're gonna take everything away from you. That's the plan, right? Doesn't help either that you got DeSantis trying to pass these ridiculous bills to to go after people. It's absurd. But anyhow, folks, that's just my video, and I'll let you know what I can do afterwards.